Wow. Welcome to this episode of Objectively Wrong, presented by the Next Man Up. As always, I am John. That is Ipteen. What a morning.
What morning? I wasn't here this morning. I missed everything.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You weren't. Yeah, Ipteen had a test. Guys, this is a bananas day in the NFL. Every year it seems like a week or two before the new league year begins, because the new league year officially begins next Wednesday with free agency, which means legal tampering starts this weekend, which will be fun.
Ooh, we're going to hear about all the free agency deals a week in advance
before they sign them.
Oh my God.
We got to talk about tags too. Write that down somewhere. The Denver Broncos have done something crazy today. Aaron Rodgers announced that he's staying in Green Bay. So the Broncos decided, well, F them picks, and traded for Russell Wilson. I did not forget that.
Oh, good. Oh, good. So you want me to read the trade details for...
I would love it.
All right. Why'd I delete it?
What is the matter with you?
This
has been It's been an interesting morning. It's been because we're bringing you some news today, and then we're bringing you our first mock draft of the year, which we got to tell you was abnormally difficult.
The hardest one yet.
One of the hardest mocks we've ever had to do. This is an abnormally difficult draft to have put together. We finally got we got in the groove, but my God, was it tough.
All right,
read me picks.
So Denver is trading the following to Seattle in exchange for Russell Wilson. Their 2022 first round pick, which is number 9 this year. Mm-hmm. Their 2022 second round pick, number 40. Their 2023 first and second round picks. And their 2022 fifth round pick for Seattle's 2022 fourth round pick. Because a fourth round pick has to get there.
Now, also, a couple of players in this thing.
Yeah. Noah Fant, a tight end that plays football. That's about all you can say about him.
Plays football.
Shelby Harris, who is a pretty impactful defensive lineman, but he's getting up there in age. And then the wonderful, the electric, the absolute franchise quarterback, Drew Lock, who we still don't know if it was Denver pushing for Drew Lock to go to Seattle or if Seattle pushed for it. Whoever did push for it, they certainly made a choice.
Yeah. You know what's funny is I don't traditionally, when you see a trade, you're just like, oh, who's the winner? Who's the loser? I think they both win here. I think both teams kind of win. I
don't know about that.
Here's my reasoning. Seattle got themselves a haul. I mean, Did they
really get a haul?
They got a haul. It's not as much as you'd think it would be, but Fant, Harris, both impactful. Stop! I'm not gonna let you just throw.
Don't say Fant. Noah Fant. Don't say Noah Fant's an impactful player.
I'm not letting you throw. I almost call him Pants. I'm not going to let you throw Fant into the pit of misery, dilly-dilly. What I'm going to do...
Seattle has a better tight end on their roster.
They don't.
They probably have 2 better tight ends on their roster.
Gerald Everett is not better than Noah Fant. Come on. He's just not. And Noah Fant's ceiling is higher than Everett and higher than Disley. I'm not worried about that.
We can talk about his ceiling. He'll never reach ad Newsom. Ad nauseum.
At Newsom.
I took a test, man.
Rich Newsom. Ozzie Newsom. The Seahawks did fine. The Seahawks, we've heard, had better offers. They wanted to get him out of the conference, though. They wanted him in the AFC. He just had to go to the AFC West, huh? The West is now... We live in a world where the worst quarterback in a division is Derek Carr.
I don't really understand why Russell Wilson chose because he had a no trade clause.
He did, and he apparently, according to reports, wanted Denver.
So I don't get it, but he chose to be in a division with Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, and Derek Carr's there too. That's the fourth best quarterback now.
This is silly. Yeah, this is actually silly. Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Derek Carr. Three of those guys, I think all of them this year were at least top 10. I mean, listen, Russell Wilson had a bad year. Russ had a bad year, but Russ was also playing hurt. There were some issues in that franchise. Russell Wilson's still an unbelievable player.
Also, if you listened to this podcast last week, find us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button.
And the bell.
I
forgot about the bell.
I did rank Russell Wilson as like the 10th quarterback, didn't I?
I don't know.
Like going into next year, I had
like
Russell Wilson as like the 10th quarterback. We were talking about Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's God. I don't want to talk about Kyler ever again. I just don't want to talk about it.
Just wait till he gets traded to Cleveland.
The Cardinals tweeted at Mina Kimes earlier. Tweeted at Mina Kimes, like, at Mina, you good? And I guess that was in reference to Wilson. I don't really know. But Mina responded, are you? And it was a picture of Kyler playing for the Oakland Athletics baseball.
Absolutely brutal.
Savage. Mina wins. Mina wins
everything. Yeah.
Mina wins it all. She wins again. Listen, Denver is a good team. I don't look at Denver the way I looked at Stafford going to the Rams. I think Wilson's a better player than Stafford going to the Rams, but I don't look at Denver as good a team as the Rams already were when they brought in Stafford. You put it in the notes. I'll let you touch on it. The Von Miller trade looks different now.
The Von Miller trade looks incredible. What's the Denver's GM name? George Patton, right?
George Patton.
George Patton had a hell of a trade. Let's break this down. So Von Miller was traded to the Rams for a second and third round pick at the deadline. And he won a ring. He was pretty instrumental in the playoffs in winning that ring. And now he's a free agent who's actively flirting on Instagram to go back to the Denver Broncos. And we both know that he not only loves the Denver Broncos, he considers it his home. So he's likely to return. And now you see Russell Wilson's a Denver Bronco. Why wouldn't Von Miller go from Matthew Stafford to Russell Wilson? So George Patton was given a second and a third round pick to rent out Von Miller, use those second and third round picks as capital to go get Russell Wilson, and is now getting Von Miller again. This is incredible. It's a great move. It's very clap-worthy.
The Broncos played 3D chess with this.
Yeah.
They played 4D chess with this. George Patton manipulated the hell out of the Von Miller trade. The Rams get themselves a ring. The Broncos get themselves their team back. And Russell Wilson. That's wild. They took Von Miller off the books for a couple of months. And that was it. He'll probably go back. He may go back to Denver now. He took a couple of months off.
He's got two teams. He's either going to go back to the Rams to compete for a Super Bowl, or he's going to go back to Denver because Russell Wilson is now in Denver.
It's insane to say Russell. The one thing Aaron Rodgers really wanted everyone to talk about today was him, and nobody is, which I think is hilarious. But Aaron Rodgers, 4 years, $200 million, 153 guaranteed. He says that contract's not correct. I'm sure he's lying. He's playing for the Packers again. He said that. He confirmed it himself. Okay, he's a Packer. Moving on. Russell Wilson plays for Denver now, and it's crazy.
Let's break down Denver's roster because it deserves to be broken down now.
Okay.
We'll start on the offense. Offensive line. Much better than Seattle's?
Much better than Seattle. Probably the best O-line Russell Wilson will ever play behind or has ever played behind. That doesn't make it great. It makes it's a good O-line, but Seattle's was so porous for so long. This is the best he's ever played behind.
Yeah, I think Dwayne Brown was the best player on the Seattle's offensive line for years.
He was aging, and they had to trade to get him. It just wasn't pretty.
So Denver Broncos offensive line. Let's look at this, shall we?
Garrett Bowles,
who was better last year.
finally started. He's taken some time to get good, but then they paid him, and he's played great since then.
Cameron Fleming.
Okay.
Calvin Anderson.
Meh.
Bobby Massey.
That's okay.
Quinn Bailey.
Yeah, okay. I know Quinn Miners is over there.
Yes.
Yeah.
He had an even worse season.
Quinn Miners.
Yeah. And we got other names. We got Dalton Reisner. Did not have that good of a season. Lloyd Cushenberry III didn't have that good of a season. And Graham Glasgow.
Yeah, listen, there's options there. Graham Glasgow is a good player, actually. There's names there. There's plenty there. It's better than anything Seattle has. I think you need to invest a little bit more into it. But Russell Wilson has proven for years he doesn't need an O-line. It's just,
Has he proven, or has it finally caught up to him? Because he played injured a lot. So maybe you want to give him an O-line for once.
It's hardly a Joe Burrow situation.
It's hardly a Joe Burrow situation. And then let's look at wide receiver. DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett to Jerry Jeudy and Courtland Sutton.
Courtland Sutton.
Yeah.
There's options. I had heard rumors that Jerry Jeudy was going to get traded.
I thought he was going to be traded to the Packers in part of a deal with Aaron Rodgers if that was going to happen.
Right. Well, he didn't.
He didn't. So he's still there. If I was Seattle looking at this trade, how do you not pick up one of these defensive players that are so good in Denver? Like, how do you not pick up Bradley Chubb in this deal? It's just the players they got versus who I feel like they should have picked up is kind of surprising.
Shelby Young's kind of the weird player in this, right? He's a 30-year-old defensive end, and they're
Shelby Young. It's not his name.
What is it?
Shelby Harris.
Right? Shelby Harris.
Yeah.
You sure Shelby? Yeah, it is Shelby. I'm sorry. Shelby Harris. That's the weird part of this trade because he's 30 years old, and the Seahawks now best quarterback is Drew Lock.
Or Geno Smith.
It's Drew Lock. So I know Lock didn't exactly provide a whole lot of confidence. He didn't, instill a lot of confidence in his franchise, but, Geno Smith, it's Drew Lock's better.
Now, one last thing as our little segue to the Packers. With Aaron Rodgers staying in Green Bay and Jordan Love now has nothing. There's no reason for Jordan Love to stay.
You want to trade him to Seattle?
I'm looking for options. I got the Washington Commanders.
Yep.
Carolina Panthers.
Washington Commanders.
Carolina Panthers. The Giants apparently want Mitch Trubisky instead.
Good old Giants.
To challenge Daniel Jones. And Seattle has a giant hole at quarterback. Now they're very likely to fill that in the draft.
Well, we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah.
But what's funny? I didn't even think about it until you just said it. Panthers and Love.
Yeah.
Jordan Love to Carolina makes a lot of sense.
We're still waiting on a certain quarterback's scenarios and legal cases because that's going to affect.
There's a quarterback down in Houston where there's some things ongoing. We'll let you know when something happens there.
And that matters to this entire talk.
Of course it does. Of course it does.
What about Pittsburgh for Jordan Love?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Is that much different than Mason Rudolph?
I think a lot different, actually.
Gotta hope so.
Because Pittsburgh has sort of found themselves outside of the quarterback range, really. They're going to have to move up to pick up
their pick is too far away.
Yeah.
And there's not a whole lot left to go grab as far as a trade prospect. Rodgers staying in Green Bay that's that.
That was never going to help them, though.
Right. No. Yeah. Seattle going to Denver. I'm sorry, not Russell Wilson. I say that by accident, but he really has been Seattle's entire team for the last 4 years.
Since the Legion of Boom.
Since the Legion of Boom finally dissolved, he's kind of been it. I don't know. This could be interesting. I don't know what Pittsburgh can do here. I think I know who I want them to take, but not in the first round.
No, you mentioned something.
What I mentioned.
It was a really good point, and I don't want to save it for the mock draft because it applies here.
Go ahead.
You have a sneaky suspicion that the Tennessee Titans
I do.
Are coming for a quarterback.
I do. We did not reflect that in the mock, but there's a chance. Mm-hmm. I smell it. If Tennessee has Ryan Tannehill, who has clearly been an issue as far as getting over the playoff victory hump, you don't have that much time. Your offense goes through a running back who takes contact,
who got injured last season,
who got hurt. You don't have that much time. You've got like a year or two before contracts catch up or Henry's body starts to break down. You don't have a lot of time. You got to make something happen now. It might be quarterback time. It might be quarterback time. So I thought you'd like that one. So, yeah, I don't know. Denver, we have a deal, I guess. It's stupid video. I will never.
You got to say it correctly. You need to say it correctly.
Hey, Denver, we have a deal. Go Broncos.
What do you think Ciara thinks about this?
I think she's confused.
She's like, we could have lived in Seattle, but now we're going to live in Denver.
It's going to be cold. It's going to be nippy. I don't know. I mean, whatever. You ever notice the picture of Russell Wilson? Russell Wilson's picture, his face is just different every year.
Yeah.
Like his face used to be like happy and stuff, and now his face is like chiseled as hell.
Pete Carroll did that too.
It's weird, yeah.
Remember when Pete Carroll showed his abs to DK Metcalf in the draft?
Just ripped his shirt off. Yeah, why not?
Be like, listen, DK, this will be a sick photo opportunity. Take off your shirt.
This will be lit. Strip.
I need you to take off all your clothes.
Getting it. You want this job, right?
We're gonna put it on the internet.
Yeah. Speaking of, Metcalf could be another trade candidate.
Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. And Tyler Lockett, I think, will go for less than people think.
By the way, I've said that. I think we've said that on this show before, that Metcalf could be a trade candidate. I don't think we thought Wilson was going to be the first guy gone, but if you're starting to rebuild, I don't think you start it with the wideouts.
If you look at Tyler Lockett's contract, he's on a 4-year, $69 million. Let's see, 2022. You want to know what the dead cap is for 2022 for Tyler Lockett?
What?
$31.5 million.
As soon as you said 30, I'm like, crap. That's gonna be a hard trade. That's a hard trade.
He has a cap hit of 10 million. But I mean, why do you keep him?
Because you can't afford that dead cap.
You can this year. You're not competing this year. You've decided to not compete.
You've decided it. It is decided.
So that's Tyler Lockett. And that contract is terrible. So I could see Tyler Lockett going for a second or a third with Seattle eating most of that cap.
Seattle's in rough shape right now.
There's a reason for that. They traded their franchise quarterback.
Yeah, you traded Russell Wilson.
Let's look at DK Metcalf. His contract is much more tradable. Okay, he hasn't gotten his contract yet. He's still on the second round scale. He's a free agent next year. Now is the time.
That's what I'm saying. He's got 1 year. That's why I was pointing at him a couple months ago, because he's got 1 year left. His value is as high as it's ever going to be.
His cap hit is $4.3 million with a dead cap of $338,000.
No, he's a second round pick. You trade him now. The most you will ever get for Metcalf is what you will get trading him within the next month or two.
Do you think Metcalf can net them a 1?
I think he can. I don't think he should, but I think he can. I think some team will do that. Yes, I do. I really hope Philly doesn't do it, and I think it's possible we do, but I really hope they don't. Speaking of receivers, I hope the Eagles don't overspend on. Amari Cooper's a free agent, probably.
I don't think it's possible for him to come to me, so I'm pretty happy right now.
And speaking of wide receivers, with some money issues, Calvin Ridley, what the hell are you doing, man? You sit the whole season out with mental health issues, legitimate, and then you gamble $1,500 on 3, 5, and 8 leg parlays. Why?
Then you also bet for your team to win? What are you doing?
Well, yeah.
We already made that bet for you.
Yeah, we did that. Don't make us look smarter. Listen, here's the funny thing. I was talking to somebody who I know that's like a pretty consistent sports gambler. And I asked him, or I guess he said to me, he was like outraged. Completely outraged. Okay. Completely outraged that Calvin Ridley was suspended for as long as he was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can take it. We can take this in 2 different angles. We can take it at Calvin Ridley. That's stupid. Why'd you do that? And should he have gotten a full year? Right.
So here's my take, and then I'll more than happy to hear your take. But my take is this: if your comparison to the suspensions of Zeke, Kareem Hunt, the non-suspension of Tyreek Hill, the suspension of Adrian Peterson, if you're going to compare those, those gross acts to this Calvin Ridley one and basically point out, hey, well, if he's punished for a year for this, but this guy's punished for this, for that, okay, fine. That point is well taken. If the
valid,
right? If the point you want to make is the NFL doesn't punish the right things the right way, fine, 100%. I can get behind that as a means of debate. That's fine. If your argument is he should not be suspended for gambling on his sport, I'm going to disagree with you, because it's literally the principle of insider trading. It's the same thing. You can't be investing in the product if you have inside information about it. So that's weird. Did you just get something off Twitter?
Yeah.
Apparently, J.C. Jackson, New England Patriot free agent corner. His market is the Bengals, Chargers, Niners, and Dolphins. Dolphins make no sense.
They just got Byron Jones like 2 years ago.
That.
I mean, what do you need? What do you need him for? You have Xavier Howard, who
can't afford that at
wants more money. You have Byron Jones, who just gave this giant contract to like 2 years ago.
I wonder if Howard's going to get traded. I wonder if that's what that means.
He should have been a while ago.
It should have been a while ago. It has to mean that. Somebody's got to be gone then. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. So no, my point is you can't insider trade. It's already illegal. So why are we okay with a player gambling on his own sport? It'd be way worse. It'd be a way worse look if he was picking the Falcons to lose. That would be terrible. But here's the point I will raise. You could argue that it's too harsh a punishment. I would argue that it's pretty tame.
I think it's a good punishment.
It's a pretty tame punishment. Consider the fact that Pete Rose is banned from baseball for life for the same offense. Life. Not one season. Not you can come back and play a year later or something. Gone. He's not allowed in the Hall of Fame. He's one of the most prolific hitters in Major League history. He is not in the Hall of Fame because of this. For reference, O.J. Simpson is in the Hall of Fame and he killed people. 2 of them. No. This is pretty consistent with what gambling has been shown to be as far as punishing gambling on your own sport. That you can't really do it. You can't really gamble on your own sport. It's clear at this point that the NFL is not going to stand for it. Major League Baseball hasn't stood for it for a very long time. Now, again, I will. The last point I'll make on this is the NFL does need to amend and change the way they punish issues of domestic violence. Because I agree, it does not make a whole lot of sense to punish for gambling more than the punishment for attacking somebody. I understand the reason why it probably is the case right now, because domestic violence in and of itself doesn't directly impact the NFL, quote unquote, directly impact the NFL, whereas the gambling aspect of it could. directly economically affect the NFL's bottom line. It's just bad optics, though. You can't do that. You can't have Zeke serve a 6-game suspension for hitting somebody, and then Calvin Ridley serving a season for going on FanDuel once. I'm just not there. I don't know. It just optically doesn't make sense. Soulfully, it doesn't make sense. I understand the reasons. Those reasons are a little crooked. I'm not with it. 15.
So let's first of all, I basically agree with everything you said.
Fair enough.
Second of all, let's examine the reason why people are so pissed off about this, right? Let's watch one football game. Okay, let's go to an advertisement. How many gambling advertisements do we get during one commercial break? How many DraftKings and FanDuel references do we get during a game?
A lot of Caesars and BetMGM this year too.
Oh yeah, we have a football team sponsored by Caesars in Las Vegas.
I mean, the league's official gambling partner of the NFL, I think, is Caesars Sportsbook.
The
official gambling partner.
The NFL is, I don't know how to say it, surrounded by gambling conflicts of interest.
Yeah, they've surrounded themselves with it. It's their own fault. Yeah. They did it.
Now I understand, though, despite all of this, it doesn't make sense for a player to bet on football if you're playing football.
Yeah, if
you can't have that.
If you have inside information in the sport, it no longer is fair gambling. It's no longer fair dealing. You have access to the league in a way that general gamblers do not have. That's literally insider trading. It's literally what that is.
Now, like you get like the random reporters that were like, why didn't he just have a family member submit the bets for him, like every other NFL player does?
It's the same thing.
Yeah,
it's the same issue.
How do you feel?
Literally just that. Like, question is, well, how does he break the rules and get away with it? That's literally what that question is.
How do you feel about? So there was this, what do you call it? Like, there's this idea on Twitter, right, where you would have
a lot of those.
A lot of brilliant ideas on Twitter, where you could have all the players, when they enter the NFL, register with one gambling program that's legal, right? Okay, so all NFL players are allowed to gamble on not their own games, and then they're allowed to gamble, and then I don't know, set like a maximum of like $100 per gamble.
What's your question?
How do you feel about that? Because I saw this idea kicking around on Twitter.
Give them away. I mean, if there's really a demand, if there's a lot of players that are really like that want to get into the gambling space, find a way, make a way for it to be, something. But as it stands, as the rules stand, you can't gamble on football if you're playing in this league.
I would just say gamble on the other sports. You are actually allowed to do that. Why don't you
go
just
gamble on baseball? Go gamble on basketball. Why not? Why are you gambling on your own? It's literally insider trading, at least in principle. That's what it is. And I cannot condone that.
And as for like the people that like, how was Calvin Ridley supposed to know? I mean, they literally, every rookie takes a class when they enter the NFL. They take a class about what they're not allowed to do with sports gambling. And then there's a sign in the locker room that details what you're not allowed to do when it comes to sports gambling. So, yeah.
Yeah, ignorance is not the argument here. Calvin Ridley knew. He had to have known. Either that or he didn't listen for 3 years. But I'm not buying that. It's a shame because it's a great player. I mean, he was hurt. He was, having some mental problems or just struggling mentally, and that's totally okay. But what you're doing here is not okay. You can't do that. You just can't. The rule is what it is. The league can run itself the way it wants to run itself. And in this respect, they don't want to run it that way. So if you gamble, you're suspended. They they made the example. So
all right, let's move on to players that will play next year.
let's do it.
I'm going to give you a list of every player that's been tagged.
Give me the franchise tag candidates. Or I guess not candidates, they're the ones that got tagged.
We've got Chris Godwin.
Kind of a lot of them this year.
I mean, like an average amount, really, actually.
Chris Godwin just got a second tag.
Cam Robinson, for some reason.
Yeah, Cam Robinson getting tagged, we were unhappy with. And you'll learn that soon.
How do you ruin a mock draft in one sentence? Cam Robinson has been tagged. Devontae Adams. Not surprising.
Duh.
Should we grade these as we go?
What's to grade?
Okay,
Cam
Chris
Robinson,
Godwin.
F. Everybody else an A.
Chris Godwin. Should they have tagged Chris Godwin?
Yeah.
Should they have tagged? I think I said should they have tagged Chris Godwin?
Should they have attacked Chris Godwin?
I don't know if I agree.
Torches and pitchforks.
I wouldn't have tagged him.
I would have.
Why? You don't have a quarterback.
I don't give a crap. I got Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. I don't need a quarterback. I just need somebody that can breathe air.
I mean, you're trying to sign a long-term deal with him. I get that.
Kyle Trask is probably going to get some snaps this year for Tampa. He had one season backing up Tom Brady. Let's see. Let's see if they don't have a quarterback.
Also, because they tagged Chris Godwin, they are now going to lose Carlton Davis to free agency.
They'll probably lose Davis. They could find a way to re-sign him, but he is vulnerable.
Cam Robinson, Jacksonville.
F.
You have the first round pick. There are 2 tackles on this draft that are already better than Cam Robinson.
What's one way you want to telegraph that you're taking Aiden Hutchinson? Do what you did today. You just told the whole league it is March 8th and you've decided. There are 45 days-ish between now and the draft, and you picked him already. Okay, fine. Actually, it's more than 45. It's like 55.
The Packers have tagged Devontae Adams. Makes sense. You needed to do it.
A++++. Hey, Ebteen got super excited the other day because Devontae Adams bought a big-ass house in Vegas, and now he's not going to live in it.
I was not super excited. I was like,
yes,
yay!
You were like, oh, my God. He bought a house in Vegas. I'm like, nobody cares. And if he's like, it's in a really nice neighborhood, I'm like, nobody cares. He's like, I don't know, man. You're going to buy a big house that expensive. I'm like, he's not coming to Vegas. And look at that. He's not coming to Vegas. Ha!
Anyways, this tag was going to happen no matter what. Even if Aaron Rodgers left for Denver, this tag was
100%.
Because then it would have been a tag and trade.
100%.
Cowboys. They tagged Dalton Schultz for a reason.
Weird. I think that one's weird. It's like a C. And I'll go C+ though, because he is one of the league's better tight ends, and he's got to have one, I guess. They're losing Jarwin probably via free agency. So. Oh,
okay. If they're losing Jarwin, then I'm much.
They were both free agents.
Okay, then yeah, I'd be fine with this then. Actually,
yeah, it's whatever.
The Chiefs tag left tackle Orlando Brown.
I mean,
his second tag. It's his second tag.
Is that Brown's second tag already?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I mean, hey, got to do it. You traded so much to get him. You have to keep him in the building. You're not losing.
Oh, okay. I don't think it was his second tag. Okay. My mistake.
Yeah, I don't think he's been in the league that long.
Mm-hmm.
No, they'll get a deal done with him. They will. But they just didn't get it done fast enough.
Jesse Bates is tagged by the Bengals. Makes sense.
It makes sense. I know we looked at it earlier. He didn't have that good a season, but
playoffs, he was great.
He's shown signs of being a stud safety. Keep him in the building.
I don't know. I think I would have told him to go to free agency, get your value, and then we'll pay it. I think that's what I would have done. I don't know if I would have tagged him because there are so many safeties currently going into free agency, and they're like starters. We have Marcus Williams, for example. Yeah. We have Quandre Diggs. We have there's so many safeties that have starting.
Oh, Diggs is not going back to Seattle now. Yeah. If I'm Diggs, I'm running. You were traded away from Detroit. Do you really want to stay in new Detroit?
So I think I would have told him to test the market, come back, give us your number, and then we'll pay the number. And I think it would have been less than the franchise tag.
Right.
But I get not being willing, trying to risk it.
Just get it done now.
This is the first tag that's since Cam Robinson is pretty bad. We got David Njoku tagged by the Cleveland Browns, and Austin Hooper. Austin Hooper is staying. Initial reports is that Austin Hooper is actually staying in Cleveland. So you got 2 tight ends making $10 million plus.
Listen, unless you're going with a consistent 2 tight end set, I don't get it.
Remember
Doesn't
when
make a whole lot of sense.
Remember when the Patriots paid for Hunter Henry and what was the other one? Wiley Cox?
No, Jonnu Smith.
Jonnu Smith, the other Indy tight end.
Jonnu was at Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
AFC South doesn't matter.
AFC had a mess.
Anyways, Mike Gesicki was also a tight end that was tagged today.
That's weird to me. You know what's funny? Gesicki being tagged, fine. But I didn't even hear a theory that he could have been extended. Like, I didn't hear any negotiating at all out of Miami. How many is that 3 tight ends tagged?
Yeah.
Golly. It actually might be smart because the tight end number's about to balloon because your boy Darren needs some money.
Darren Waller is currently being paid less than David Njoku and Austin Hooper. The boys needs a new contract.
Boy needs some money, and the Raiders are going to need to find some.
There's a table. Bend over it. Darren Waller is going to get his money.
Yeah, y'all are screwed. The Raiders are screwed.
Now let's talk about the 2 players that weren't tagged.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I just got a text.
Okay. I know we got J.C. Jackson wasn't tagged. And I know Harold Landry out of Tennessee was also not tagged. And dibs on Landry, because I don't understand that. I don't know why he's walking. I can't. Players like that don't grow on trees. Pass rushers don't grow on trees, and he can move to a quarterback. And J.C. Jackson was kind of like the reason the Patriots let Stephon Gilmore walk.
I mean, before we get to J.C. Jackson, let's talk about Landry. He's not an elite pass rusher.
No,
but he is pretty great.
He's a good player.
He's going to get the most money in this market, I'm pretty sure.
I'd be surprised if he didn't.
Yeah. He had 12 sacks last season. That's a lot.
It's many. I don't know
22
quarterback.
22 quarterback hits and 75 tackles. I don't know why Tennessee's doing this. They're trying to still sign him to a long-term deal. I think I would have just tagged him first and then try to. Yeah. I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? You trade him to somebody and get a first-round pick out of it, because you will get a first-round pick for Harold Landry.
I don't know about that.
And then
get a 1.
I think you can get a 1. I think you'll be hard stuck to find someone in the back end of the first round who wouldn't give a 1 for Harold Landry.
Maybe the back end. Yeah, I don't know. I'm confused about the pass rushing draft. I'm confused about the entire free agency crop this year, because the wide receiver crop was great, and then Adams gets tagged, Godwin gets tagged, Mike Williams gets paid $20 million a year by the Chargers. Yeah, I mean, well, answer this question: who would you rather have right now, Mike Williams or Amari Cooper?
Mike Williams, but
they were both getting 20. So
kind of crazy
how crazy is that?
Yeah.
but it's by enough.
Yeah,
it's not by much, but it is by enough to have that answer. And Amari Cooper was getting 20 million, so it's actually not that crazy a deal. I don't know. It's when you. I mean, if you just look at a contract, right? You see Mike Williams, 3 years, $60 million. Yeah, okay, that's wild. But if you think about it in context of the rest of the league's receivers, yeah, okay, it's not that crazy. They kind of got to the party first, which is fine because the number is going to go up like crazy. The cap number went from like 185 or 186 to like 208.
When does the new TV deal happen? 2023?
I think so.
Devontae Adams is going to get paid so much money. Oh my God.
But no, we're looking at it. No, he's going to make ridiculous cash. But we're also in a situation right now. You've got, I think Kirk Herbstreit's going to Amazon for Thursday Night Football or Monday Night Football, something like that. There's so much of a broadcasting shuffle right now. The TV deal is literally year to year, so it could be as soon as this season. Who knows? You mean as far as Sunday Ticket goes? I mean, Nobody knows who's getting Sunday Ticket yet. Apple wants it. Disney wants it. Hulu wants it. Everybody wants it.
Devontae Adams is going to get quarterback money.
Devontae Adams is going to get Jimmy Garoppolo's contract.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah. He may end up with that dollar amount. So will Cooper Kupp.
Oh, my God.
How much money is Cooper Kupp going to make?
He won a Super Bowl. He was the MVP of that Super Bowl.
He's the MVP of a Super Bowl, and he got an MVP vote. He got a league MVP vote. Granted, it was from the guy that said I refused to vote for Rodgers, but still.
The Rams window is next year.
Yeah, they got a year left. And then they got to pay Kupp 30% of their overall cap.
And they also are giving Stafford an extension.
They're trying to get him to $35 million a year, and he wants $45. That is a massive gap, and I have no clue how they're bridging it. Contracts about to get real big. Real big.
It's a real good thing you won that Super Bowl.
Yeah, good thing you won. Maybe that's why Aaron Donald was thinking about retiring.
Because he was like looking at the team around, like, oh no.
None of you can get paid. I'm out.
Didn't he get extended?
Not
or are they working on one? They're working on one, I swear to God.
For Donald?
Yeah, I swear to God they're working on a Donald extension.
They're so screwed. They're going to go have to rob a yearly bank. What a mess.
I look forward to the next NFC West quarterback being traded into the AFC West. It's just the Broncos again for some reason. Russell Wilson's like, Ciara doesn't want me to play in this team anymore. I'm off to New York. And the Broncos are like, okay, give me the next veteran top 10 quarterback.
What a mess. All right,
JC Jackson, I'm sorry. We stomped all over you. JC Jackson is going to get number one corner money, probably the top of the market.
Yeah. I can't think of one better.
I completely understand why New England is letting him go. But they do need to fix that defense.
No. How else are you going to pay Nelson Aguilar $13 million for the season? We can both be happy about that. We can both be happy that we didn't do it. I can be happy because I almost did. But you didn't.
Would you rather have Jalen Reagor or Nelson Aguilar?
I would rather have this pen. Like, I don't want either of them. I still like Reagor. That's the problem. No, that's not true. I don't like him anymore. But I liked him. I liked him a lot more coming out of college than I liked Nelly.
Would you take Nelson Aguilar, Jalen Reagor, or KJ Hamler?
Oh my God, that's so easy.
Really?
Hamler. Oh my God, what are you talking about? KJ Hamler. The dude's got a rocket up his butt. Yeah,
but he can't catch the football.
I don't give a crap. KJ Hamler. Absolutely. Okay. KJ Hamler. Yeah, no, I know he's got brick hands, but he's good for one really ugly drop a game, but he doesn't drop it habitually. And he gets open like crazy because he's faster than holy hell. Hamler, please, and thank you.
All right. It's time, John.
Oh, God.
We've wasted enough time with this stupid NFL breaking news. It's time for the real
breaking news.
It's time for the real meat of this podcast. The reason why we're all here today.
Meat.
Okay.
Meat. Beefy. Let's do the very first Next Men Up 2022 mock draft. Yeah. You're here. You made it. You made it a full season.
I think I'm going to cry.
And now you're going to get yourselves a piping hot dose of mock draft.
Oh,
delicious. Delicious. Now, sometimes we do these live where we make the picks back and forth. That is not what we did this time.
Thank you, Jacksonville.
This time, it took us about 2 hours to figure out pick 1 and 2. We initially were setting out to not do any trades in this mock draft. However, that proved impossible.
Yeah.
For one simple reason, and we will explain it shortly. Ebteen, do you want to read off odds or evens?
No. This is what we're gonna do. You're gonna give me the pick number, and I'll read the player because you're gonna give me that deep theatrical voice that you have that I do not get to enjoy.
Well, you get to enjoy it. You just don't get to have it. I have the power. Number 1. I'm only doing that the first time.
No, you got to do it for every single
I'm not doing it 32 times. Go to hell. Number 1.
The Jacksonville Jaguars, with the first pick in the NFL draft, take to the surprise and awe of everyone in Detroit, Aiden Hutchinson, edge rusher out of Michigan.
Yeah, we're pissed.
We're so pissed.
Damn you, Cam Robinson. Damn you to hell.
No, damn you, Trent Baalke, for making this choice. Why? Why'd you do this?
You have Ike Ekwonu and Evan Neal, and you've franchise tag Cam Robinson. I hate you.
You know who they hate more? Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, well, no. Here's the deal. It's not like Cam Robinson's a terrible player. He's not.
He's just not Evan Neal.
He's not Evan Neal or Ike Ekwonu, and he's not worth $17 million a season. What are we doing? It can't be. You can't fit. Either Aiden Hutchinson is going to be the next elite edge rusher of this league. He's going to be the best. Him and Josh Allen are going to wreak havoc on opposing quarterbacks. Or the Jaguars are setting themselves back a little bit by not helping out Trevor.
I mean, the Jaguars are famous for setting themselves back just a little bit every single time.
This could easily be you could tag Robinson and draft an O-line. I'm not saying, I don't think either of us are saying that tagging Robinson means they won't take Neal or Ekwonu, but it makes it a whole hell of a lot less likely. And the problem with that is the only other two reasonable picks at number 2 for Detroit are offensive linemen. So we have a trade. Number 2.
You need to do the do.
I'm not doing it. Number 2.
The New York Giants have moved up to pick number 2 in a trade with the Houston Texans. Oh, I'm sorry. With a trade with the Detroit Lions. Wow, Freudian slip right there. And have selected Ike Ekwonu, offensive tackle in North Carolina State.
Now, we're not going to tell you every detail of the trade, but here's the way we view it. The Giants currently own picks 5 and 7. If moving from 5 to 2 requires moving both pick number 5 and number 7,
they're not doing it.
We don't think the Giants are doing it. So we just moved the Giants 5 up to 2 with other capital. We're not going to get into that capital, but we did find it was a reasonable trade. We went off the point chart. We used PFF's module. It was reasonable usage. It's not some crazy trade. It was a legitimate trade. It involved a 2 and some other capital. It was done properly. The Giants moved from 5 to 2. They keep number 7 and take Ike Ekwonu. They want an O-lineman. And
do they know?
Yes, they do.
They should want one.
They need an O-lineman. I'll say they need an O-lineman. And they're taking Ike to do it. It depends on the day. Ike or Neal is the first tackle off the board. Today, we chose Ike.
They did draft Andrew Thomas 2 years ago? Yeah. 2 or 3 years ago?
He's going into year 3.
He's going to year 3. So the question is, do the Giants draft a left tackle who hasn't played right tackle in college?
Yeah, year 1 was a travesty for Andrew Thomas. Year 2 was improved.
So the argument really is Andrew Thomas is not good enough to make that choice for you.
No.
You move Andrew Thomas to right tackle.
Yeah,
because it doesn't even matter if you believe in Daniel Jones. Whoever the next quarterback after Daniel Jones is will need a better offensive line.
Right. And I'm sure the question's being asked, like, well, if you're saying that about Andrew Thomas, why aren't you saying that about Penei Sewell? The problem with Detroit is that not only do they have Penei Sewell, but they also have Taylor Decker. Taylor Decker is their full-time left tackle. Sewell is at right tackle. First of all, it's already a mistake. But second of all, Taylor Decker doesn't have an out. We checked. His contract is a mess. They can't crush it till 2023. So we don't think it makes sense for them to draft the lineman there when they can get a player that they probably need more down at 5 and add capital to a team that's not good. So we moved him, simply put. For what it's worth, if Jacksonville still goes O-line, Detroit's not moving to take Hutchinson, and this becomes a lot simpler.
The Detroit board is Aiden Hutchinson on one board in one room, and then in the other room, all the other players they actually care about.
Yeah, Detroit, it's very simple. If Hutchinson is on the board at 2, Hutchinson's a Lion. It's very simple. Imagine Iggy and Neal go 1 and 2.
That would be awesome.
And Hutchinson slips to 3.
Houston would have a bidding market.
Everybody in the world would be like, Houston. And Houston would be like, no, we're taking him.
He's like, can I offer you a slightly used quarterback?
It's like, we'll trade you Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks, nah, man, I retired. Y'all hear that today? Brandon Cooks said that he will retire if the Texans traded him. And I'm like, why don't you just move one more time?
Just one more time. Just one more.
He's upset that he keeps moving, and that's fine. But maybe don't say like, nah, Houston, it's got to be here.
It's true, right? He's been a Saint. He's been a Ram.
Patriot.
He's been a Patriot? Yeah, he's been a Patriot.
He was a Patriot. He was a Patriot for the Super Bowl year with the Eagles, and Malcolm Jenkins knocked him out of the game. Gave him a concussion, knocked him out. If not for that, we probably would have lost because they would have been Cooks the whole game. So, yeah, no, very, very funny. Well, not funny. He got a concussion, but very interesting development. But no, he's been on a handful of teams. I understand wanting to maybe just plant your roots and stay somewhere, but Houston, really? Really? All right. Well, I guess so. Speaking of Houston, number 3.
The Houston Texans. I hate you.
Keep going.
I hate you. Either do it every time or not at all.
I'm going to do it only on the odds.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
Do the NFL Network one on the odds, and then do the ESPN.
I don't know the ESPN one. What's the ESPN one?
I don't know. Talking about how depressing a prospect's childhood was. That's an ESPN thing.
I'm just yell Trent Dilfer 50 times.
Let's
do that.
All right, the Houston Texans select Kyle Hamilton, safety out of Notre Dame. Now, one thing before we made this pick, we are aware that Laramie Tunsil is available for the Texans.
We've heard that rumor. If they move him, this pick changes.
Probably. The way this board has shifted, yeah, they'll probably take an Evan Neal.
And it explains even more why the Giants moved up to 2.
Oh, yeah. But if they trade Laramie Tunsil.
And then, by the way, pick 7 might have to be part of it. Because Detroit will know that they got you over a barrel right there. They'll know they have you.
But until Laramie Tunsil is traded, we're going to go with Kyle Hamilton, who didn't have a great 40 at the combine, but that tape is too good, John.
The workout was a little disappointing. I was surprised, but the tape's exceptional. He's obviously a very high IQ defensive player. I still have him potentially as the best defensive player in totality in this draft. I mean, over Hutchinson.
I think he just had a bad day, to be quite honest with you.
I mean, Orlando Brown clearly had a bad day. I will always go back to that. Orlando Brown is a Pro Bowl offensive lineman. He had the worst combine you've ever seen. The combine is not a measure of how great a player will be. It is a baseline, but it's not everything. It helps a little. Speaking of good combines, number 4.
The New York Jets. In the first surprise of the draft, take Ahmad Sauce Gardner.
Saucy.
Cornerback, Cincinnati. He's a 6'3" corner. The combine was really impressive. There's a lot of skills that will transition into the NFL. We thought about taking a wide receiver here because the Jets desperately need one, but Sauce Gardner was too much. We had to take Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, we got to go with the sauce. You can't go wrong with Sauce. He's 6'3". He is a corner. He is the dream corner. He is a specimen of a player. He runs like a gazelle, tracks the ball well. He's 6 foot. That rhymed by accident. He's 6'3". I mean, he's just huge. Big man, big hands, knows how to patrol. You can't do more. You can't do worse than this. You can't do better than this. The Jets are probably losing Marcus May, it seems, in free agency. It seems he's hitting the market. They don't have much in that secondary. This helps. This helps a lot.
Yeah.
And you have somebody that can deal with Diggs twice a year, Stephon Diggs twice a year. And you have two other teams without a whole lot. You can deal with Jalen Waddle a little bit. New England doesn't have a true one, but not yet. So, you need a corner. Number 5. A pick that we hate.
The Detroit Lions will take Drake London, wide receiver out of USC.
Yeah, this stinks. But the Lions, first of all, this will probably grade at like a C- for us if they actually do this.
We do not like Drake London's take.
But if they did it at 2, it would be an F.
Oh yeah.
We have reason to believe that the top 2 players on the Lions board are Hutchinson and London.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can't take London at 2 without us throwing tomatoes at you. So you have to trade back to 5.
And you have to take him if you're going to take him before 8, because Atlanta is currently lacking every wide receiver known on the planet.
Yeah, it's, they kind of gambled those away. So I don't know. Yeah, you finally got that. It took a minute for you.
No, I didn't. I knew it the entire time.
Oh,
come
okay.
on, man.
Yeah, Atlanta gambled those away. Ooh, he's so edgy. Yeah, Drake London bringing the 6'5" frame to Detroit to pair him with Amon-Ra St. Brown would be
a good idea.
It is a good idea. Yeah. It is a good idea. Did Amon-Ra go to USC?
Yeah, he did.
There you go. There you go.
With the name Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's a USC kid.
You know what? If Amon-Ra St. Brown was able to become a great player in this league, he is a good player. To become a good player in this league after being thrown to by Keaton Slovis at USC a year ago, maybe Drake London can do it.
This is my problem with Drake London. Okay. He's a mystery to us. His tape, we didn't like his tape this year, but he has Keaton Slovis as his quarterback. He had an ankle injury this year. There are reasons to excuse the bad tape. There's also reasons not to when you're looking at one of the greatest wide receiver classes in a while.
We do not in any capacity have Drake London as the number 1 receiver in this draft. We don't.
We do have him as a first-round pick.
Of course.
Yeah.
But it does seem like Detroit views him as the number 1 receiver in this draft. Number 1 player at probably their number 1 position of need. All right, fine. Take him, I guess.
Not only Detroit, it seems like the rest of the NFL also has Drake London as number 1 wide receiver.
Right.
We don't see it. Let's move on.
Number 6.
Carolina Panthers have sat pat and found themselves with Evan Neal, offensive tackle, Alabama. Now, this was more me pushing John than anything. Carolina needs a tackle. Carolina needs offensive lineman help. You know what they also need? And John was very right. John said that Carolina needs a quarterback to save Matt Rule's job.
Matt Nagy tried this a year ago. He drafted Justin Fields in order to. He drafted Justin Fields. Yeah, but that's for Kevin. He drafted Justin Fields in an effort to save his job.
Yeah,
it didn't work because he made one critical mistake. So the mistake was that when you draft the rookie quarterback, you play him immediately rather than let's pretend Andy Dalton is the starter, because that was silly.
And then you also don't try to self-sabotage by playing a terrible scheme for that rookie quarterback.
Constantly. Oh, yeah. So I'm glad that he's out of that job because maybe Chicago can figure themselves out. But Evan Neal is the best player on the board by a lot. And to see him at 6 is so enticing for a team like Carolina with a need at that position. Yeah, could the Jets have done it at 4? Maybe. Texans at 3 would, if not for Tunzel. But the Panthers could go QB here at 6. With Evan Neal there, considering most mocks have it as either an O-lineman or a quarterback, normally Evan Neal isn't here, but we're going to put him here. It's either him or – what's funny is looking at the way the draft is shelling out right now, it's either Icky or Evan that gets to 6, potentially. They could – either one of them potentially could get to 6. Now, keep in mind, guys, Kyle Pitts was like pick number 19 this time last year. And he went. We
didn't agree.
No, we disagreed entirely.
Yeah, we were like, take him number 1. It's worth it.
We were like top 5. He should be
Trevor
top 5.
Lawrence be damned.
And nobody said that.
I was saying that.
No, absolutely not. He went 4th. So anybody's stock can go up or down between now and then. This is just the first look. Number 7.
Speaking of stock going down.
Yeah.
The New York Giants take Kayvon Thibodeau, Edge, Oregon. Hello, Combine. How do I ruin my stock?
Wow, we have heard a lot of bad interview news about Kayvon Thibodeau.
Low effort. Terrible.
That's a word that we've heard. Like the word we've heard from sources on the internets is he exuded low effort. That is not something you want to hear this late in the process.
I want to see how bad it is when we look at defensive linemen later.
I'm worried.
Yeah.
I'm real worried.
We had Thibodeau falling to 7. He can definitely fall into the teens if this keeps on going.
This is starting to exude very big Gregory Rousseau energy for me. A guy that is mocked high that falls. I could absolutely see Kayvon Thibodeau falling. Not out of the round, but falling. This is not somebody that has to be a top 10 pick anymore. I think the Giants do it because they've already hit on their big fish with Ike Ekwonu. Just take the best available at the position of need you have next. First pick has to be best player. Second pick can be, you can make some choices with that.
And just hope that you can, I don't know, give him some drive because he needs it.
Light a fire under his ass. There's something there. Pair him with the Zizo Jalari, you might have a decent pass rush.
It'd be more than a decent pass rush, actually.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Number 8.
The Atlanta Falcons really wanted Drake London. Instead, they're getting Trayvon Walker, edge rusher from Georgia. It's another hello, Combine.
Yeah, Combine's going to help some of these guys. As we said, it's not the be-all, end-all, but it will help. Trayvon Walker had a great Combine. I don't think there was a single
exceptional Combine.
I don't think there was a Georgia player that had a bad Combine.
He was already a first-round pick, probably in the mid-teens, but this is going to push him in. And Atlanta could not sack the quarterback to save their life. They had the lowest in the NFL, so they need an edge rusher. They need an edge rusher bad, and we got Trayvon Walker rising all the way to 8th to Atlanta.
Number 9.
The Seattle Seahawks in a trade will select Malik Willis, quarterback out of Liberty. I don't know what to say anymore.
This feels right. Now, there are pictures circulating of Pete Carroll speaking with Matt Corral at the Combine. There have been drafts the past few weeks that don't have Corral in the first round. So we're not going with Corral at 9.
unless Pete Carroll takes his shirt off with Matt Corral in the same room, he is not going to be a Seattle player.
They'll take him in the 4th. Here's the weird thing. Seattle hasn't picked this high in a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And every year, it's impossible to predict what Seattle's going to do. This year, you have to assume that they're going to go closer to the board. You're picking 9th. 9th. That's early. That's great. You're going to get the 9th player off the board. Crap, they're going to pick a 3rd-round running back, aren't they?
If we did a predictive
Dameon Pierce, 9th overall.
If we did a predictive mock today and the draft was tomorrow, I would put Matt Corral here instead of Malik Willis.
I agree.
Because Seattle reaches.
All the time.
Yeah. And it's not to say Matt Corral is not a good quarterback. We haven't done our deep dive, but with our initial, jumping in the little pool of quarterbacks,
dipping a toe in.
Yeah. We did have Matt Corral as a top 3 quarterback. I think we had him as our 2nd quarterback.
I have Corral as 2 right now.
Yeah.
Right now, Corral's my 2.
So I look forward to when we look at quarterbacks, and we're doing that soon. Actually,
we're doing it very soon. Willis had himself a heck of a combine,
an exceptional combine. I'm saying that a lot.
He really did. He had himself a heck of a combine, and good on him, because I was actually skeptical. I thought he was going to have a rougher combine. He didn't. He played fantastically.
Not only did he throw well, he interviewed extremely well, and apparently his intelligence is off the charts.
I don't doubt it.
It's the first quarterback out of the draft is from Liberty. Can't believe I'm saying that.
I can't buy it. That's the problem I'm still having is I can't imagine the first QB is Liberty. Mm-hmm. Really, Liberty University. That's where I'm struggling. And it feels wrong to be knocking Malik Willis, because I don't have Malik high at all on my board, but it's pretty much only because Liberty. There's nothing else wrong with him. Fast, runs well, interviews well, talks well, leads well, great interviewer, great with the playbook, high IQ, apparently gives out food to homeless people too. There was video of that at the combine. It's the perfect player.
It's just he's a developmental prospect.
We're going to find out that he didn't have anybody go to his birthday party, aren't we?
No, that's Matt Corral. Or Kenny Pickett. You know what Kenny Pickett does look like?
Kenny Pickett is Bo Callahan.
Yeah, Kenny Pickett looks like Bo Callahan.
God.
All right. He does look like Bo Callahan. I'm not even joking.
A little bit. Number 10.
The New York Jets take Treylon Burks, wide receiver out of Arkansas. Now, this one, we knew it was a wideout. We knew it had to be a wideout. But John kind of pushed me towards the direction of Treylon Burks. He had a slow combine run. I mean, we didn't really care ourselves. We thought he ran fine for himself. Yeah. But the general consensus was that a 4.55 was too slow.
We like Treylon Burks.
We like his tape a lot.
I think we've been pretty consistent with how much we like Treylon Burks. I'm going to pull up his measurables again right here, because I'm going to try to throw some dirt on the people that were like, he had a bad combine, because I don't really think he did. It's loading slowly though. So we got a 4.55 40, a vert of 33, a broad jump of 12.2, a 3-cone of 7.28. He's a year one starter, pretty much every metric. Zerline comps him to AJ Brown with more wiggle. I don't know. It's the type of player I'd want. I don't know what to say.
His tape was great. His combine 40 is a little slow, but maybe that doesn't really matter when he can completely outmuscle the corners.
Yeah, okay, your combine was okay, but I'm seeing tape right now. His 10-yard split on it was a 1.57, which is pretty damn fast. I'm cool with him. I'll take the risk. If people want to make him fall, Eagles got 3 picks in the middle of this round. Fine, let him fall. Watch what happens with Jalen Hurts at quarterback. They're going to miss him constantly, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. Number 11.
Wait, before we go into that, the reason we went with Treylon Burks instead of Garrett Wilson or an Olave is because they have Elijah Moore. They have all the other wide receivers who I don't remember. because Crowder's a free agent. They need a wide receiver and they want bad.
Corey Davis.
Yeah, they have Corey Davis. So Treylon Burks fits the team better. Whether or not they make that decision themselves, we'll see.
The other reason we picked Treylon Burks here is because this is our mock draft. Shut up.
This is not a predictive mock.
It's because if you want to have say in our draft, do one yourself or comment below,
please.
If you're on YouTube,
hit that subscribe button.
You can comment below if you're on Apple Pod too. I don't think you can though. You can comment below. We won't hear it because you're just yelling at your phone at that point. But
give us a review. It better be 5 stars.
We have one star review on our pod.
That's the guy you fought with on Twitter.
Well, it was somebody I fought with on Twitter about Odubel Herrera. Somebody got mad that I was saying Odubel Herrera is a jerk because he hit a woman, and the other guy was trying to be like, no, the Phillies need him on the field. I'm like, no, he should be in jail. Because he hit somebody a lot. Anyway.
God.
Number 11.
Number 11. The Washington Commanders take Kenny Pickett, quarterback out of Pitt.
Yeah, I'm upset about this because I like Pickett. I don't want him in my division. I really don't want him here. I don't want to play him twice a year. This will be the third every single year. There's a player I fall in love with where I'm like, I love this player. I can't wait to watch him. Crap, he's a Cowboy. Every single time. Last year, Micah Parsons. A few years back, Saquon went to the Giants. I hate this. I don't like when it happens. I like CeeDee Lamb, Cowboys. I hate this. It's never really happened with Washington. I like Brandon Scherf, but not enough to be like, oh, I really want to watch him play. It's a lineman. What do I care? But actually, I care a lot.
You're the one that cares.
I care so much. If Quentin Nelson ended up in New York, I was going to jump off a bridge. But Kenny Pickett is one of those guys that I would have liked to have. You should be writing a quote on that. Kenny Pickett, and he does. Would you forget that we have to do that?
No.
I've been carrying.
I watched the episode back and I fill in the blanks because I have to do the timestamps anyways.
That's a good idea, actually. All right.
Yeah.
So Pickett. Listen, Pickett's been my one since we saw Pickett by accident.
Mm-hmm.
Does Washington want to go this route? Because Heineke didn't play poorly last year.
All right, let me tell you why we have evidence that they're going to go this route.
Well, there's one very clear thing.
They tried to trade for Russell Wilson. They wanted to send 3 first-round picks.
What, in the RG3?
Pete Carroll was like, but then he'd still be in the NFC, and I don't want that.
Good move, by the way, to get him out of the conference. Smart.
I would have probably just taken the 3 ones. If you're gonna go to the playoffs, you're gonna face good quarterbacks anyways. You're gonna play Washington probably just as much as you're gonna play Denver.
Think about it from this perspective, though. You got pick 9 this year instead of 11. And pick 9 would have still been Denver, and Denver would have been hunting a quarterback, and you would have been sitting at 11. Pick 9 is in front of Washington, who wants a quarterback. You got to look at all the dimensions here because Seattle gets to end up with Malik Willis here. Whereas if Washington was picking it, if Denver was picking it 9, they just traded for Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson and Willis are similarly styled quarterbacks. Smaller, run around the backfield, can throw on the run. That's what they do. So the difference is Malik Willis went to Liberty, which I cannot get over. I can't stand it. I can't get over it. Stupid Jerry Falwell. But you understand what I'm saying. The logistics of this, it's kind of the same. And you don't have to deal with him until the Super Bowl. And you get first dibs instead of Washington if you're Seattle. So this is, you move further up the draft for this.
And then Seattle drafts Matt Corral.
Number 12.
Besides the whole Taylor Heineke and Russell Wilson, Washington is we have reporters like Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter, all the good ones. that said that Washington was calling basically every single NFL team to check in on every single quarterback. They were looking for all the options. So they're going quarterback in this draft. All right.
Okay, number 12.
The Minnesota Vikings select Tyler Linderbaum, center, Iowa. It's a good pick.
It's a great pick. And it fits like a glove. Minnesota's got problems on offense, and it starts on the O-line. But Minnesota, to me, feels like one of the most aimless teams in this league right now.
Kirk Cousins would do that to you.
Right. Kirk Cousins does that to you, right? You're kind of stuck. You're looking at a lot of nothing right now. You've got a quarterback that makes way too much cash and a line that can't protect him. You have a running back that's elite, but could be more elite with good blocking. Two receivers, one of which aging and finished the year injured.
And you've drafted 3 great receivers, actually.
And you drafted a bunch of them. Yeah, this was a team that a few years back thought they were a quarterback away, and they've done nothing but get worse since adding that quarterback.
Case Keenum, man. They threw Case Keenum away.
Yeah, bye.
Case Keenum had them like, what was it, the NFC Championship game against you? Was that where that run ended?
Yeah.
So Nick
38-7. We curb stomped them into oblivion.
Nick Foles beat Case Keenum, and that was your NFC Championship game that year.
I just got a alert.
Oh, breaking news.
Willis and Kenny Pickett are considered Seattle's top targets at pick 9.
All right, Matt Corral, be damned.
So it ain't Corral. At least for now, it's not Corral. Listen, we knew for 2 months that the Niners were going to pick Mac Jones, and then they didn't. So,
thanks, Chris Sims. You're the worst of us.
Tyler Linderbaum, best interior lineman in this draft. Not close. Not close at all. Minnesota will be very happy with him. Number 13.
The Cleveland Browns move on from Odell Beckham Jr.
Hold on. Before we even say the name of the player, okay. What have we said on the show for months? The Browns must pick a wide receiver with their first pick. We are not wavering from this no matter what. Every time we do a mock, every single time, whatever receiver is there, and we're like, yep, you fit. It's happening here. Every time. Go ahead.
I look forward to them picking a defensive lineman.
I mean, we did the same thing with Penny Sewell to Cincy, and then we're like, crap. They're changing it. But if they don't do that, they need a receiver in a very bad way.
The Cleveland Browns will select Garrett Wilson, wide receiver out of Ohio State.
Indeed.
Good pick. Great player. Our number 1 wide receiver, actually. Let's move on because that's really all that we need to say. It makes sense. Odell Beckham Jr., goodbye. Jarvis Landry, goodbye. Donovan Peoples-Jones, come closer.
Number 14.
The Baltimore Ravens say hello, Combine, and select Jordan Davis, defensive lineman out of Georgia.
Big man, run fast. That's kind of it. Big man, go fast.
He had what was it? He had like Aaron Donald results in the Combine.
I think it was like better. I'm gonna pull him up. Jordan Davis. 341 pounds. He ran a 4.78. Because that doesn't make any sense.
I love the video he put up with other players. I think he put up with Patrick Mahomes, and it just said Jordan Davis catching up and running.
It's so stupid. Jordan Davis is ridiculous. That was a ridiculous combine.
Mm-hmm.
I would have loved to have seen him bench press. The fact that he did a 12.3 broad, which is further than Traylon Burks, is insane to me. That's just ridiculous. I don't know what to say. He is a mountain. He's a nose tackle. He's very, very finite in the fits.
I mean, there's potential now for a pass rushing defensive tackle.
Baltimore does this crap. Baltimore does this. This is their guy. This is so their guy. Everything about this player says Baltimore. Everything. That's a Raven.
Big Ben retired at the right time.
Yeah, run. Baker, run.
Joe Burrow.
Burrow, get the hell out of there. You're done. No, I didn't even think of that until just now. Burrow, no.
Ask for a trade. Ask for a trade, Jeff.
Oh, my God, Burrow, run.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no. He's going to eat you. You're dead. No. Tina and I were talking about it. We wonder if there's like a league-wide conspiracy of teams that just don't allow the Bengals to get O-linemen. The Bengals are picking 31st. Imagine if every pick was a lineman leading up and they're just stuck with like a tight end. It's like, well, we need somebody to block. Jalen Weidermeyer. Joe, will you stay now, Joe? Yeah, that's not going to be pretty. You need to fix that interior.
All right, we're gonna switch it up for these two picks because they're back to back. I'm gonna let John talk a little bit.
I'm gonna do all three. I'll do all three of mine. I'll give you your Raider pick too.
What?
Well, you have a Raider pick.
Yeah, I know, but like, okay. Anyways, with the 15th pick,
number 15,
the Philadelphia Eagles select David Ojabo, edge, Michigan. He should not be here,
but I'm happy he is. I love Ojabo.
In our notes for this episode, we have that selection, and then we just have John with the
just a lot of ha's. And I did the same thing for pick number 16, Devin Lloyd, a linebacker out of Utah,
who has been top 10 in some mocks. Has fallen to 16. What did we do wrong? Tell us what we did wrong.
The field grass will run blood. Will run red with the blood of our enemies.
Denver.
Dak Prescott is dead.
Denver got their quarterback. You know what that means? That means Seattle is now in their position. You know what that means? That means Lloyd can fall. And he can fall far.
Lloyd can fall very far. Yes. Washington could take him. Yes, the Jets could feasibly take him. There's a lot of teams that could take him.
Carolina could have taken him.
No,
not in this draft though. Not when Evan Neal's available.
No. This is because if Evan Neal didn't go 6, he was getting to at least 8.
Mm-hmm.
Probably wasn't going 8. Definitely wasn't going 9. And the Jets at 10. It still doesn't fit. So what, Washington ends up with Neal at 11? No. So the math doesn't work. What we're learning is, guys, nobody is allowed to call this draft bad anymore. It's not a bad draft.
Get over the quarterbacks.
Get over it. It's weird at quarterback. Accept it and move on. Ojabo and Devin Lloyd would be a massive play for the Eagles. The last time the Eagles drafted a Michigan end in the first round of a draft, especially in the middle of the round, Brandon Graham. The last time the Eagles selected a linebacker in the first round of a draft, my dad was 11 years old. My dad was 11. It's been a very long time. It's been a very, very long time since the Eagles have done this. Do it, please, Howie. I don't want to watch Alex Singleton try anymore. I need to stop. Please take a linebacker.
It's not okay.
I grew up watching Jeremiah Trotter, and since then, the best you've given me is 2 years of D'Amico Ryans. Please fix the problem.
Number 17, John.
Number 17.
The Chargers.
Please. 17.
The Chargers select Derek Stingley Jr.
Chris, I hope you're able to fix
corner.
the audio that I just destroyed all the audio. Chris, please fix it. You are the best.
Derek Stingley Jr. Corner, LSU. This is such a Chargers pick. Take a player that's fallen because of injuries. Yeah.
And in the secondary, it's identical. It's Derwin James, but again, and plays corner instead of safety. That's it.
It's almost like the Broncos have picked up another quarterback that you need. You're going to need some. Hi, us. Hi.
Your dog's bothered? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to need to protect yourself from Russell Wilson. You were playing, and it's like, all right, Mahomes and Herbert. That's hard. Carr, okay, good quarterback. What is Denver? Denver has,
Drew Luck, Teddy Bridgewater, Case Keenum.
Russell Wilson. Oh my God! Wait, if you took Case Keenum, Teddy Bridgewater, and Drew Lock, and all put them into a blender, they would still only be like 80% as good as Russell Wilson in totality.
Screw you, 80%.
Hold on. I'm saying as far as like what he is, because the other 20% is you can't catch me. You can't catch me. That dude is like an eel. He just slips out all the time. He's like, I'm here. I'm going to turn my back now. I'm also here. Ha-ha. Touchdown. I'm better. Hey, Denver. I'm going to score touchdowns. Anyway, Derek Stingley Jr.
I want to be like, hey, future, I'm going to take you a wife.
Okay, stop. Don't do that. Hey, future. Anyway, Derek Stingley, he is falling on boards. It's funny because about a month ago, he was the top corner in this draft, but Sauce passed him in a big way. Sauce passed him.
Oh, yeah.
So
he might even end up being the third corner, honestly. I don't
he could be. I don't see him as the third. I do see him as the two. He's still quite a good player. Number 18.
The New Orleans Saints start off their new era catching a falling player. Charles Cross, offensive tackle from Texas A&M.
Yeah, I love the player.
He should go like much earlier than this. And you can see some mocks where he goes to Carolina at 6, but those are the mocks that have Evan Neal in the top 2.
Yeah, there's also mocks that have Penning at 6, which is crazy. Trevor Penning. Yeah, DJ did that. I'm just not there with either of those two players, but I can tell you from watching them, Cross is a fantastic tackle. And I will say this, Cross, if any O-lineman is going to outplay Ekwonu and Neal, it's probably Charles Cross in this draft. Linderbaum is a great player, but he does so many. He's just a different one. He's a center, so it's just not the same game. Charles Cross is what? What are you laughing at?
The Chiefs have responded to the Russell Wilson news by re-signing Josh Gordon.
Really?
Yeah.
Yo, can we say Jim Irsay tweeted out some crap earlier today that the Colts had signed a released Bengals corner. And that's how we were going to lead the show, was to be like, guys, the news today has been crazy. The Colts got a corner. What else happened? So we threw that out because it's dumb. Charles Cross, fantastic lineman. They might be losing Terron Armstead. And they don't have any money. So they need to get an O-line somewhere. How is it possible, by the way, that New Orleans with no cash is somehow better at getting an O-line together than Cincinnati? Cincinnati at least has the quarterback.
Sheer power of will.
Sheer power of will.
It's almost like the Saints and Cincinnati are two halves of one complete team.
Yeah. Number 19. Philadelphia again.
Look who's back. Back again. It's the Eagles with Chris Olave at wide receiver. I hate you, John.
You cannot stop us.
I hate you, John.
I'm so happy to have this many picks. I want to make something very clear. I do not think the Eagles are picking 3 times in the first round. I don't think they're going to do it. If they did, and this is the 3, I'm going to be very happy. I'm going to be a very, very happy guy.
I'm going to have to sit in the same room as you. You know that,
yeah.
Right?
And then record an episode where we grade things. And I'm going to have to watch you look me in the face and say, crap, you have an A+.
Oh, this is higher than an A+. This is an S.
You can't beat that draft.
David Ojabu, Devin Lloyd, Chris Olave.
You got the best overall linebacker in the draft, an edge rusher that is trending up, and a wide receiver that in other drafts would be like WR2. How insane is this draft? Who doesn't like this draft? Are you not entertained? This is the perfect draft to be picking between 11 and 25.
Yeah.
Because there's so much elite talent there, and the top end of the draft just doesn't make any sense.
And the quarterbacks are pushing talent back for some reason.
Woo-hoo! Send me more. I am hungry. Bring me Chris Olave. The Eagles are going to the Super. No, they're not. But no, they're not. This is a fun draft for Philly. If the Eagles end up picking 3 times and it's these 3, who doggy? That is a draft.
Now let's put in something to
that. That is a grown adult draft.
These are your 3 picks.
Sure.
These are your 3 first-round picks.
Sure.
What if yesterday you traded those 3 first-round picks for Russell Wilson?
I would be confused.
Which one of these do you prefer? Russell Wilson or these 3 players?
This 3. Not even it's not close, team. It's not. I hate my defense. Hate it. I hate it. Every good part of my defense is 30 or older. My best players on defense are Brandon Graham, who's coming off an Achilles tear, Fletcher Cox, who's got 1 year left on a bloated contract, and Darius Slay, who's in his 30s. I have no linebacking. My second best edge rusher is Josh Sweat. Good, not great. My third best pass rusher is Derek Barnett, who is almost certain to leave in free agency because somebody will pay him $10 million a year. Someone's going to do it. I have nothing at safety. Anthony Harris busted. He was not good. I have Avonte Maddox. That's like the one young guy on defense I like. Linebacking, I have Davian Taylor, who is a project who's actually starting to look better. Milton Williams at DT. Young, angry dude. Very excited about his prospects on the at D tackle, but I need more. I really need more. You know what's crazy is I could use, I know we don't run it that way, but I could use Jordan Davis if he were there. I could use a Devontae Wyatt type out of Georgia. If you're a Georgia defensive player, I want you. But 15 and 16, Ajabo and Lloyd, I know there's no Georgia there, but I really don't give a crap. If Ajabo goes at 8 to Atlanta, for example, and Walker is there at 15, I'll do Walker and Lloyd. I don't care. Give it to me. I personally prefer Ajabo, but Walker, fine. Oh no, I got Trayvon Walker and not David Ajabo. I still have Devin Lloyd and Chris Olave. What more could I want? I have Devin Lloyd and a track star running at wide receiver. Although it was so funny to watch his combine 40 come in at 4.26,
and the internet explodes,
then drop to 4.39, which is still damn good. It's
so who messed up? Who messed up?
Someone clicked too early. 4.26. We saw that. Epteen was not watching at the time. I texted to him. He's like, "You've got to be kidding me." I'm like, "No." He's like, "Damn it, he's not falling to me." By the way, he's still not falling to you.
You don't know. Cleveland might make a mistake.
Your pick, by the way, is one of my 5 favorite players in this draft.
Okay.
I love the guy you're picking. So let's go to 20. Let's just keep going. Let's try and wrap these up quick. We don't want to extend the episode longer than we have to.
The Pittsburgh Steelers need a quarterback. But screw that. They're going to take Trevor Penning, offensive tackle in Northern Iowa.
At number 20. Yeah, it's pretty clear to us. Pittsburgh is going to go O-line and quarterback with the first 2 picks.
Yeah.
Whatever order that is what it is. We think in this spot, it would be tackle. Trevor Penning is a great player. He's a really great player. 20, that's perfect value. It might be a little bit late, which is good.
Yeah, honestly.
It might be a few picks late, which is good. I think this is actually peak value. This is one of the players on this board that if you get him at this spot, what is it? Evan Neal is way late. His peak value is 3. But Penning is exactly 20. That's perfect. You did not reach, and you might have got maybe 2 or 3 picks late. Maybe. That's good. That's great. That's exactly how you want to draft. Hit the guy. I mean, ideally, you want to draft a guy that was supposed to go number 2 when you got him at 30. It doesn't happen. Happened with Sharif Floyd, but he had a heart issue. Mm-hmm. So that's how it happens. But Trevor Penning, what's funny this year, no one seems to have a major medical red flag.
No.
Which is nice. It's a refreshing year for them. A lot of healthy players.
Unless you're a wide receiver with a leg injury.
Number 21.
The New England Patriots select a wide receiver with a leg injury. Jameson Williams in Alabama.
You see how I set you up for the segue, and then you just spiked it. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Chemistry.
Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams is a fun prospect. This is such a Nick Saban, Bill Belichick play.
Get someone from Mac Daddy. Yes, we're forcing it. Get someone from Mac Daddy.
Mac Jones will henceforth only be known as Mac Daddy on this show.
If Jameson Williams was not injured, he would be the number one wide receiver on this board. I am not lying to you.
Yeah, he probably would be over London. He might be over London.
He would definitely be our number one wide receiver. Actually, it was
probably
1A, 1B, right?
I don't know. Wilson's tape was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if he would have passed Wilson, but Wilson's tape was pretty great.
Moving on.
Number 22.
My Las Vegas Raiders will select. Yes, they are.
They belong to the Bank of America.
Will select Nakobe Dean, Bank of America's own.
He rushes that because he knows how much debt Vegas is in. Nakobe Dean. I love Nakobe Dean. I think he's the best leader in this draft.
This is a pick for Patrick Graham, the new defensive coordinator who loves to be versatile on defense. You would love to see a wide receiver here. I could see Jahan Dotson, but it didn't fall. Not this time. Maybe next time.
No. So Nakobe Dean, the one knock on Nakobe Dean, and there is a knock, is that he's 5'11". 5'11" for Nakobe Dean. That's unfortunate. But the Nakobe Dean comp that everyone is using is Devin Bush. And Devin Bush, healthy, is a dangerous football player. Nakobe Dean could be an interesting player. This could be a really interesting player. I think he's a great leader. 5'11", 230. He gets his hands on you and you're going down. It's just the way it is.
And look at the offense that the Vegas defenses will now have to face. Look at the offenses. Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, twice a year. You need to fix the defense.
Honestly, this could be a corner.
Yeah.
Truly. It could be like a McDuffie or a Booth, but this could be a corner. But I think you need a leader. You need a defensive captain. And you don't have it at all. You have no leader. Like, I understand Max Crosby. It's rare that an end is the quote-unquote anchor of a defense. It's traditionally a linebacker or a safety. Or in really rare instances, a tackle. But that's real rare. You want to get as close to the center, as close to the middle of the field as you can with your leader. Nakobe Dean's a linebacker, and he can move around to wherever he needs to be. At 5'11", he might be interior. So he's incredibly quick, incredibly agile. If he gets his hands on you, you are done. You are done. Yeah, he's not 6'2". That's okay. You don't have to be giant. You don't have to be to be an effective player in this league. He's good enough. He's absolutely good enough. No question. Number 23.
A pick that may never change. We have the Arizona Cardinals selecting Kenyon Green, guard of Texas A&M.
You must protect the boy.
The boy is already angry.
You must protect the boy.
The toddler will soon throw a tantrum. He already has on the internet.
He reminds me of Baby Yoda.
Oh my God, you're right.
Right?
Did Bleacher Report do that yet?
I don't know.
Bleacher Report totally did
They
that.
must have.
Yeah.
He reminds me of Grogu. Protect the child.
Also, fire Cliff Kingsbury.
Well, no, they did the opposite. They literally extended him and Steve Keim. I have no clue why. I can't. I don't understand.
Run away, my child.
Run away, Grogu. Run fast. Kenyon Green can help you. Can help you not have to run so much. Talented guard. Really talented guard. Versatile. More agile than he seems. He can pop you. By the way, speaking of more agile than he seems, I want to make sure I correct the record on Trevor Penning. I critiqued him for not playing particularly fast. The man ran like a sub 4.9. So either I was wrong or his play speed's just not that great, or I just wasn't seeing it and there was an issue with the film. I don't know. Trevor Penning can gallop. Good for him. But yeah, Kenyon Green, you need to protect Kyler. You have to protect Kyler. You have to get Kyler some protection or you have to go defense. It's O-line or secondary. Speaking of secondary, number 24. Stop looking for Baby Yoda, Kyler.
I'm not.
What are you doing?
Other stuff.
Stop it.
The Kansas City Chiefs respond to Russell Wilson and select Trent McDuffie, corner from Washington.
Yeah, here's the nature of it. When a new challenger enters the arena, you have to answer it. And we saw this happen with the Eagles. The Eagles, when Saquon Barkley came to the Giants and Saquon signed his extension, the Eagles started investing a ton in the D-line. You have to answer it. So the Chiefs already have a iffy defense. And iffy is putting it politely because Tyrann Mathieu's probably leaving. So it's going to go from an iffy defense to a dumpster fire of a defense. You're going to have Frank Clark, who I don't think has been cut yet officially.
No.
And Chris Jones, who is the most forgettable elite pass rusher in the NFL.
Yep.
He's quite good, but he doesn't always impact. So McDuffie is necessary. You need to add something to the back end. You don't have a corner right now. You don't have an elite corner over there in Kansas City. This can get you on that first step toward it. Number 25. Oh, and by the way, this was a trade. We're
sorry. Yeah. We saw Kansas City trading up and Dallas trading down. I'm sorry, Dallas fans.
Yeah, we moved Dallas from 24 down to 30.
And the reason is because the board shaked out in a way that didn't really benefit Dallas. So they get capital and they still get a great player at their next slot.
They get the player they kind of want and they get him 6 picks later.
Mm-hmm.
Number 25.
My bad. The Buffalo Bills select the second defensive tackle out of this draft, Devontae Wyatt from Georgia.
Yeah, not as bad a D-tackle crop as it was last year. Last year was a mess, but still pretty lackluster, still pretty quiet, only a couple. And that's actually the last D-tackle of the first round. Mm-hmm. Wyatt's a big man strength. Buffalo needs one. It's that simple. We thought about a receiver here, maybe. We thought about some secondary, but the Chiefs had to go up to get McDuffie away from Buffalo. Mm-hmm. So that's where we rolled in there. It was once we started looking at the board, it became pretty clear.
This is more of a pick for the playoffs because you're going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the playoffs, the most important thing, as the Rams have shown to everybody, is pass rush. And if you get pass rush to affect Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, maybe Russell Wilson, then you know what? You'll probably win the game. Unless you're Tennessee and you'll get 8 sacks and Joe Burrow will still win the game.
The AFC is going to have to kick the crap out of each other week in, week out. It's going to become a very challenging conference. Mm-hmm. Remember 3 years ago when the NFC was like the place to be, mm-hmm. and now every NFC team is just bad. And then there's the Rams and Green Bay.
Speaking of Green Bay, later. Moving on.
You got confused.
Yeah.
Number 26.
The Tennessee Titans. This time didn't move up for a quarterback. No. Next time, maybe they will. But instead, they take a falling George Karlaftis, an edge rusher out of Purdue.
I like Karlaftis a lot, and I'm surprised he's still here at 26. It's that simple. I have Ajabo over him, which is why I had Philly take Ajabo. I know a lot of people now have Trayvon Walker over him, and there's no other overly needy defensive end team sitting here. Yeah, Dallas could have used him at 24, but I don't think it's really a fit for them. Karlaftis isn't that fast or edge guy. They seem to like a DeMarcus Lawrence type, and I'm sorry, he doesn't play the same. So, DeMarcus Lawrence, Randy Gregory, they had Greg Hardy for a cup of coffee. They had DeMarcus Ware. That's more their set, and that's not Karlaftis. It's a different player. So Karlaftis to Tennessee, yeah, makes sense to me. Rhymed by accident again. It makes a lot of sense.
I mean, they just made the decision not to tag Harold Landry.
Yeah, they need
talked about this earlier.
Yeah, you have to replace him, and they did it in a big way. They got arguably a top 20 talent at 26. Good for you. It also smells bust. When that happens, it smells like bust, but that's okay. You got to try. There's nothing on his tape that says he's going to be no good. Number 27.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers need to rebound after losing Tom Brady. How'd they do it? They drafted corner, Andrew Booth Jr. from Clemson.
How do they do it? They draft defense. Yeah, this is more or less because we think they're losing Carlton Davis.
Exactly.
We think they're losing Carlton Davis. We think they're pretty stout in other spots. We could have them take a QB, but
there's one on the board.
Listen, Kyle Trask sat behind Tom Brady for a full season. I think Tampa needs to see what he learned. I think they have to see it because this will be the first guy to really just take over a team from Tom Brady straight up. Let's see what he gained. Let's see. Kyle Trask wasn't a terrible prospect. He wasn't good enough. He wasn't good enough to not have us completely turn our attention toward Kyle Pitts and Kadarius Toney.
Are you joking? We threw him in the trash.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
He wasn't good enough for us to keep our attention on him and not look at the other two and just go, well, we know why he's good. But, let's see what he has. Number 28.
The Green Bay Packers make a decision they should have done a long time ago.
Maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. And draft Jahan Dotson, wide receiver, Penn State.
Skinny guy, go fast. That's it.
You're losing. You're losing Martez Valdez-Scantling.
You're probably cutting Randall Cobb.
Yeah, you have one more year with Devontae Adams before you have to pay him quarterback money. And Aaron Rodgers has what? A 4-year deal. He's retiring at the end of that 4-year deal.
Yeah.
It's time to It's time to cash in. You got to put all your coins in the. I'm
all
saying
the
eggs.
Wrong.
You got to put all the eggs in the basket. You got to draft a wide receiver. You got to go win a playoff game instead of losing because of your special teams.
Yeah.
And Russell Wilson isn't in the NFC anymore. Tom Brady is not in the NFC anymore. I mean, what are you waiting for? Go win a Super Bowl.
Go win it.
The AFC is going to cannibalize itself because it's scary over there. It's scary over there.
Go take control of the NFC. You can do it with this player.
Don't let Aaron Rodgers sit on the couch and watch Matthew Stafford win another Super Bowl.
Don't talk about Stafford like that. How dare you?
How much do you think that pissed him off? This quarterback that I've been destroying for weeks.
2 weeks it took. 2 weeks.
Oh. Anyways, Aaron Rodgers, it's time. Go win a Super Bowl.
Number 20.
You're giving me Chris Olave.
No, I'm not giving you Chris Olave. It's mine. Number 29. We were so close to being done with this episode, too.
Yeah.
We're like,
look at that, Miami. Miami is picking again, or for the first time, actually. They're picking Bernard Ryman, offensive tackle, Central Michigan.
You know what's funny about this pick is the Bengals have had to watch 8 offensive linemen just fall off the board. Who's gone? Icky, Evan Neal, Linderbaum. They could use any of these.
Charles
Cross, Trevor Penning, Kenyon Green, and now Raymond. 7. We've had to watch 7 O linemen fall off the board while they just sit there in their own filth.
How many offensive linemen are drafted on average in the first round?
Not this many.
Like 4.
This is a lot. 4 or 5, 7 before pick 20. Before pick 30. 7 O linemen in the top 29.
Move up.
That's a lot. I go up. Whatever
because we couldn't find a trade.
Couldn't find it for you. Find a way. Go up. Trade with Philly. They'll do it as long as you somehow guarantee us the 3 players that I have already stated for the Eagles. Guarantee them, and the pick is yours.
Honestly, I don't know.
Bernard Raymond's fun. I like him.
Oh, yeah. I would probably call New England. And be like, hey, want to do us a solid?
Hey, we need your help. What, you think the Patriots aren't in on that?
They're totally in. They're totally in.
I bet you it was the Patriots' idea.
Yeah.
It was New England's idea.
Bill Belichick is looking at Mac Jones and then back to Joe Burrow, then back to Mac Jones.
Who's Mac Jones?
Oh, Mac Daddy. I'm sorry.
Mac Daddy.
He's looking at Mac Daddy.
We need a new sound. Mac Daddy. So Bernard Raymond ran a 5:05.40 after I thought he was going to break 5. He got close. Shut up. I like the player. I like him as a project. I like him with Miami. They need an O-line, and they need it now. I kind of forget who coaches them now. Who is it? It's the dude from San Fran, right?
Mike McDaniel.
No, it's no S. It's Mike McDaniel. McDaniel.
Find the S.
There's no S.
I know. Find it. I'm talking to Mike right now.
It's in Vegas. It's in Vegas with Josh McDaniels. I like Raymond, as I said last week, at least. He converted tight end to tackle, gives you great mobility, great versatility. I love him a lot. This could help Tua in a big way. Tua's a mover, so is this guy. Number 30.
Dallas Cowboys. Take a long time to make the same pick. Jermaine Johnston, edge rusher out of Florida State.
There's not much to say on this one other than Dallas needs an edge. DeMarcus Lawrence said he's not taking a pay cut. There's a chance Lawrence isn't staying.
After this year?
After this week.
Ooh.
Who knows? I don't know what Dallas's move is. I know they freed up $22 million in cap space today, but we'll see. I think they need an edge rusher. I think that's what they need. I would like them to not get an edge rusher, but I'm okay with it if that's what they decide to do. It doesn't bother me. So go ahead, go crazy.
My favorite pick.
Number 31.
The Cincinnati Joe Burrow selects Zion Johnson, guard, Boston College.
It's about damn time.
It's a second round pick that you need to take in the first.
You have to do it now. You don't have a choice.
He won't be there for your second.
This is the best O-lineman left. You need to trade up.
You know what? Your first 5 rounds, just pick offensive line.
You should be doing nothing but O-line. You should be doing the Matt Rule school of defense, except with O-line. Number 32. I'm skipped. Honestly, I know I just skipped quickly from the Bengals. I don't care. They need to know. They know what they must do. Take O-line, or Joe will die. It's very simple. The Ravens just added Jordan Davis. Answer it. 341 pounds of hell.
The Pittsburgh Steelers have TJ Watt. The Cleveland Browns have
Devin
Myles
Bush is
Garrett.
coming back healthy. What is wrong with you? Why won't you help him? I'm seeing my face turning red, but I'm actually livid. Why won't the Bengals help him? It's so simple. Help him. He's going to die.
Look at the other AFC teams. Tennessee, Karlaftis, Buffalo, Devontae Wyatt. There's a 50-50 chance Harold Landry stays in the AFC.
Jacksonville got Hutchinson.
You have to play these people.
Who are the Bengals' opponents this year?
Let's look that up. I'm
doing it right now.
Idea.
Bengals 2022 opponents. Looking it up right now. They play Atlanta. Who'd Atlanta add? Receiver? They added Trayvon Walker. Dead. They added, you got Baltimore twice.
Jordan Davis.
You got Buffalo. Who'd Buffalo add?
Devontae
Wyatt. Carolina. That's O-line. You're safe there. Although they still have a pretty good defense. Brian Burns and Derek Brown, the Auburn guy. Is that his name?
Oh, yeah.
Cleveland, twice.
Myles Garrett.
Kansas City, Chris Jones.
Miami.
Not a whole lot there. You're okay there.
A lot of corners, though.
A lot of corners. Pittsburgh twice. Dallas.
TJ Watt.
Micah Parsons.
DeMarcus Lawrence. And now Jermaine Johnston.
Patriots. They didn't add one, but they have a couple. The Saints. Davenport. Jordan. The Jets. We didn't give them one. They're not known for it, but they have Ahmad Gardner now.
Mm-hmm.
Sauce. Steelers again. Tampa, Shaq Barrett, and Ndamukong.
No, I think he's a free agent.
Is he? Okay.
He'll probably resign.
And then Tennessee, who added Karlaftis. You're dead. You're dead.
Did you just go through the entire one and like 14 out of 17 of them had pass rushers?
Yeah. And 6 in their division.
Move up.
Run. Joe, grow a third leg and run faster. This isn't safe. You're going to get hurt.
We got to find a team. We got to find a team they can move up for.
Outside of Jonah Williams, there's nothing on the O-line worth starting. And Jonah Williams is not a good starter, but he's better than the rest of it. Be very afraid. Finally, number 32.
The Detroit Lions. How was that Super Bowl?
Remember, Detroit and all other listeners, you need to make a pick. The last pick, every pick in the first round has a 5th-year option tied to it. That is what drives this pick. But it also is convenient considering Detroit has another need that we did not address earlier, and we're addressing it now.
Detroit Lions got a wide receiver named Drake London. You know what's a really good pairing for a wide receiver? A quarterback that can throw to them. Matt Corral.
I didn't know that.
It's still, I mean, Keaton Slovis exists, so some people don't know it.
That's true. There are quarterbacks that can't throw, and he is one of them.
Yeah. Jake Fromm. Mitchell Trubisky. Daniel Jones. I can go on. Matt Corral, quarterback, Ole Miss, goes to Detroit with the final pick of the first round for that 5th-year option. They'll stick to Jared Goff for a year, then move on.
Goff is immovable. He's completely immovable. His contract's a mess. So without eating a bunch of cash, it's going to be really hard for Detroit to move on. Matt Corral can wait. I don't know if Corral needs to wait, but he can in this situation. Or
he's been getting better like every year, so I don't know if it's actually a bad idea to make him wait.
Why not?
Yeah,
this is a situation where we've decided that 3 quarterbacks going in this first round, and it's the 3 we've named tonight. It's Malik Willis, it's Kenny Pickett, and it's Matt Corral. Those 3 quarterbacks need to go in this draft. They have to go in the first round. If any of them slip out of the first round, I'll consider it a surprise. I will. Matt Corral not being mocked in the first round is surprising the hell out of me. It really is. It's really surprising me.
He didn't have a chance to do the combine because of his leg.
He's still injured. His pro day is going to be really important if he's available to do it. There's not a ton of time between now and the draft, but there's still enough time to showcase yourself, do your meetings, have your conversations, do everything you need to do. But Matt Corral is an interesting prospect at quarterback with Willis and picking off the board early. Seattle addresses it. Washington addresses it. They both address it for the now, and the Lions address it for the later, which is, kind of their play because everything they're doing is later. So
if Matt Corral slips into the second round, there are probably half this league is going to have a conversation about whether or not he's the future quarterback of their franchise.
Yeah.
And Jacksonville will have a bidding war for that first pick in the second round.
Big time. Big time.
All right, that's all it for us. That was our first mock. Big day. Next time you hear us, free agency will have happened. And this is going to completely change. This is going to completely change. All of this, throw it out.
This is a waste of time. But, it is what it is. Our next mock is not for a couple of weeks, but our next episode will be a debrief of free agency. So no new position group in the next episode. No rookie talk. We'll talk about some implications from the previous draft, from the draft that we've done recently. Recently, as of 30 seconds ago. So we'll talk about that in a couple of weeks. 10 days. We have it scheduled to be out 18th or 19th, something like that. So we're diving back into film study. The next player group you're going to hear about is defensive backs.
Yep.
That's the next position group you're going to get.
Very big class.
Big class this year, followed by D linemen, then linebackers, and then quarterbacks. Guys, between now and the draft, we've got a free agency episode, a defensive backs episode, a line episode, linebackers, quarterbacks, a what we would do draft, and then a draft night pod that is expected to come out probably the morning of the first round.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Those are the last pods before the draft. We're not going anywhere after that. We're still here, but those are the last pods of the draft. Guys, we're getting it's real. That we've got less than what was it? 6 episodes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 episodes until the draft. 7. Whew! It's going to get fun. And Russell Wilson was traded today. We still have 7 more weeks of that crap. All right. Well, hold on a minute. So, okay. So 2 things happened. We walked away. We were done. The show was over. It went 2 hours. We're sorry, but we need to do another minute here because we just checked Twitter and 2 things happened right after we stopped. First of all, yeah, I'm angry, clearly. First of all, remember how we gave the Titans George Karlaftis?
Screw that.
Well, it was because we didn't think they were going to have Harold Landry anymore. And yet they just signed him to a 5-year, $87.5 million contract.
I'm Max Crosby.
Nice deal, actually. $20 million salary in the first year, but cap hit spaced out. Very team friendly. Good work.
I have my Max Crosby contract.
You know what's funny?
Right out for me.
What's funnier is that I almost mentioned it earlier today when you were talking about Landry. You mentioned Landry and you said, he had 12.5 sacks last year. He's hitting the market. He'd immediately be the best pass rusher. And in my head, I'm just like, wait a minute. 12.5 sacks. He's young. They like him. I know they like him. And here we go. So he's a Titan again.
Also, if you've been paying attention, Kevin's been talking a lot about this.
Yeah, Kevin is going to mention some things in it where when we talk about Karlaftis and Landry, he's basically going to say like, hey, this is part of this 10 minutes of this episode you can skip. So, yeah, fun. Secondly, and I wanted Teen to say this one because I was way too excited when it was said. Oh, my God. Am I getting phone calls now? Almost.
It's almost over.
Almost over.
Seattle Seahawks have decided it's time to blow up their team.
And blow it up.
And you want to know why? Because they're releasing Bobby Wagner.
So it's done.
The
Legion of Boom is done.
It saves $16.6 million on the cap. I will say
that's a good cut.
You know who will also save money on the cap? If you trade DK Metcalf.
Yeah, the Seahawks are just cutting budget. Seattle knows that their time is done. They knew it. I was concerned they were going to burn an extra year, thinking like, oh, we could still do it. Good on them.
And you know what? Bobby Wagner getting released now, he's probably going to sign before free agency.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because he's a cut. He could sign now if he wants to.
Yeah. Ziegler. Remember how the Raiders drafted Nakobe Dean? You can just go get Bobby Wagner. I'm okay.
Nakobe, nah, you're not a Bobby Wagner away. Bobby Wagner goes to a team that can win today. I can't believe. I mean, I'm seeing 10 years. Phone is now exploding. Bobby Wagner this, Bobby Wagner that. Of course, we ended the episode, and 10 minutes later, these two massive pieces of news hit. Harold Landry is re-signed to Tennessee, and Bobby Wagner has been released after a decade in Seattle. Do we just sit here for the 10 minutes and see who else gets cut?
Oh, yeah. We're going to sit here in silence. God, poor Seattle fans. You lose Russell Wilson and
you said
Bobby
silence.
You lose Russell Wilson and Bobby Wagner on the same day.
What a rough day. Guys, we're not actually going to sit here for 10 minutes. That's a rough day for Seattle. That's a damn shame. I feel for Seahawks fans. You got your one ring. You should have had two, but you got your one.
Who's left on that team?
No one.
And
the defense is done.
To think you could have just let go of Pete Carroll.
No, I think the Super Bowl team's gone. I don't think there's a single one left. You know what's funny though? This tells you how quick the turnaround is in the NFL. You know how many Eagles from the Super Bowl team are left?
None.
4.
Oof.
And it was 4 years ago. 4. And one of them was a long snapper. Long snapper and kicker are 2 of them. Actually, it's more than 4, but it's not. I think it's like 5 or 6. It's not high. It's single digits.
Do you think Jamal Adams is going to be traded?
No, with that contract? Hell no. With that contract? No, I wouldn't take him. Would you?
You think he'll force a trade? No. He left the Jets to win. He left the Jets.
And now he's the Jets.
Oh my God.
Oh, this is not cool. This is not fun.
Oh, I'm having so much fun. I'm having so much fun.
My cousin just texted me. He's like, I need Bobby Wagner. I'm like, we're not getting him. Move on. He's like, but I need it. Yeah, this is Seattle has made it clear they are ripe for the picking. $16.5 million. Good for them. He's still got years left too. Yeah. He's got years left. This is Calais Campbell style.
Who's also a free agent.
Again?
Yeah.
Now he's old now. I don't know what to do about him yet.
1 year deals. All right, we're gonna wrap it up here. Bye for the future.
All right. If there's anything else that happens tonight, sorry. We'll tweet it. We'll tweet about it. Okay? We'll tweet about it instead.
Kevin will say something also.
Kevin will say other stuff and we'll tweet about it and whatnot. Okay?
Goodbye forever.
Okay, bye.